Hello and welcome to this video where I'm going to be talking to you about my story with acne. So I've got some notes that I'm going to be reading from just to sort of keep my train of thoughts kind of succinct, hoping this won't be a super long video. So I guess where my skin story sort of starts is at the end of 2014. So I was turning 15. I'd sort of always had a little bit of, like the sweat pimples or whatever you like to call them since a pretty young age, I would say. I probably started getting pimples at the beginning of grade 8. So I would have been 12, 13. I had quite a few pimples here, enough for people to start mentioning it and trying to help me. It wasn't until the end of 2014, so I would have been almost 15, I started getting intense acne, and I'm going to try and put some videos that I actually found from back then where I was doing little skin videos every day, just on my old webcam, so they're not very good quality. If I can attach them in, hopefully you can see that my skin was pretty bad. I always used to think that that was the worst it had been, but I'm pretty sure that when I finally went on Accutane, that was probably the worst state that my skin had been in, but very comparable to sort of late 2014, early 2015 me. And then I have a video at the end of 2015 where my skin was looking great. It was pretty clear, and it sort of stayed that way through 2016 as well. I've got some notes here that I'm going to pull up. So in 2014, so how my skin cleared up that first time is I was prescribed epiduo. I actually have a tube. I'm gonna go grab it. So this is obviously a new tube of it. I haven't had this same one since 2015, but it's basically adapalene and benzoyl peroxide. Looks like this. I started on doxycycline, which will make a few reappearances in this video. It's basically an oral antibiotic. I think I was on 25 or 50 milligrams a day. It just basically acts to kill the bacteria that's causing your acne. It's a pretty simple theory, and it does work for a lot of people in the short term, but as you'll see with my story, it doesn't really work in the long term. At the end of 2014, which is why I started these videos, because I thought that this would be my holy grail, I started using the Clarisonic. I also started on the birth control pill, Chelsea-35 ED, or Diane-35. That's what seemed to clear up my skin the first time. I'm not sure whether it was the pill combined with being sped up by the antibiotic. This cream never really worked for me in terms of my all over acne. If I just get like one spot, I can pretty well target it with this, and it does work for that. But for me, for all over skin and body acne I had as well, didn't really work. The end of 2015 to the beginning through most of 2016, I had pretty good skin for the most part. As a normal teenager would, I had, some spots here and there, but it wasn't acne. 2017, I started university, so it was already a tough transition period, and I thought that I would come off or at least change my pill, because Diane-35 is quite a high dose pill, so there's quite a lot of hormones involved in Diane-35, and my skin was clear, so I didn't see the point in maintaining such a high dose. So I spoke to my doctor, and she recommended me to change to Yaz, which I wasn't adverse to, and I did switch to that to try it out. It was a lower dosage estrogen progesterone pill. It didn't work for me. This pill really affected my mental health. I think I started breaking out after I also switched to that. When my skin first started breaking out in 2017 again, I'm pretty sure I started back on doxycycline using epiduo, and I changed my skincare around a bit. I'm not going to mention what products I was changing in my skincare routine because, to be honest, changing my products never helped my skin. Not in a way that would clear it up or is good to recommend to anyone, but I tried a lot of skincare in my time. So I ended up switching back to Diane-35. At the end of 2017, beginning of 2018, I decided to take myself off the pill. I did consult my doctor when doing so, and she thought it was okay. My skin wasn't bad at this time. I'll insert some pictures. I was trying just to be a lot more holistic and clean with how I was trying to clear my skin. I thought I could do it. I saw Sarah's day and I was like, yes, I'm going to be the same. I'm going to clear my skin up for good. I don't need the pill. I don't need these antibiotics. This is when things started to go downhill for me. So yeah, at the beginning of 2018, I thought I had figured it out. My skin was not bad. I was off the pill. I was being a clean green goddess, and I thought that I was doing great for myself. End of January in 2018, I started getting pimples. Not bad at all. On the 18th of Feb 2018, I started getting very oily. I started getting clusters of pimples. I was thinking because I was stressed, it was hot, I had not the best diet, meaning that I had a tree every now and again. That's still a pretty good diet, I would say. 2nd of April comes and yeah, we're seeing the beginning of acne coming. It's not anywhere near as bad as it did get, but you know, it's there. At this point, I was noticing that my hormones were sort of out of whack since coming off the pill. So I was starting to get big cystic painful pimples. Oh, and this is also, so on the 1st of April, I started taking doxycycline again. So I was becoming pretty reliant on this doxycycline. Just because it had such a, it was the only thing that I could find that would eventually clear my skin. April 5th, I'd been on doxycycline for around 5 days, I think. This was a hard day. I had little tears in my eyes and I knew what was coming. I knew it wasn't going to get better. Confidence was really low at this point. 23rd of May, feeling very self-conscious, particularly about the forehead, and I felt like my face was getting quite puffy. When I get acne, I guess with most people, my face gets very puffy and I just didn't feel very beautiful. So around September, I would say, my skin was looking okay. I really didn't have a lot of pimples. It was really just hyperpigmentation. I always got like maybe 1 or 2 months of good skin and then my skin would start breaking out again. And I started getting it all over my chest, which I've got some pictures of. I started getting it all over my chest and back, and I was just pretty well done by the end of 2018. The beginning of 2019, I went to my GP and I said, look, I'm pretty much done with trying everything. I got my GP to refer me to a dermatologist. It was about a 3-week or 4-week waiting period to see my dermatologist, and she started me back on Diane-35 because that's the pill that I know works for me. The beginning of March, I went and saw my dermatologist. I got my blood tests all checked, and I started on Accutane. I guess I sort of wanted to touch on how I dealt with acne. It hit me until probably grade 10 or end of 2014 when I started breaking out pretty severely. I didn't really do anything those school holidays except for sit and research about skincare and acne and treatments for acne and watch every single video on YouTube that I could. When I had just started Accutane, actually, I was working and a lady came up and asked me if I had tried aloe vera. It was really rough how I just wanted to scream at everybody, I'm on Accutane, it's going to get better, please trust me. Like, it was as if I was doing it for other people to not talk about it. I didn't want to look people in the eyes. It was really, really difficult. And I guess one of the main things when I started Accutane is I had just met my boyfriend, my now boyfriend of almost a year, and I was super self-conscious of him seeing me without makeup. He's been the most supportive person I could have ever asked for with my acne journey, especially at the bottle end when it was probably the worst it's ever been. And I'm just so lucky that he was really supportive, especially on my bad days, and my skin even just hurt to even cuddle him or something. My face hurt to put pressure on. He always told me that I was beautiful, and he was just really, really lovely. But this is basically my skin now. As you can see, it's almost been a year since I started Accutane, and it's been about 6 months almost since I've been off it, and this is how my skin looks. So as you can see, I still do have pigmentation. I'm actually getting a little bit hot in this room, so I'm a little bit red, but yeah, this is how my skin looks. It is fading, and I think it has definitely faded from when I first came off Accutane. I was thinking that I could do a video talking about my skincare now, what I'm doing to sort of help fade the pigmentation, and also maybe a video on my skincare when I was on Accutane, because I learned a lot of things. When you're that dry, you pick up little tips and tricks. That was my skin story with acne. And I hope that that sort of gives you an insight. I'm hoping that I can post a few more videos. I am currently sort of studying for a big exam that's gonna happen in March. So after that I should have a bit more time. I'm currently in my honours year of a Bachelor of Biomedical Science, so I'm a little bit busy with that too. So maybe I can make some videos on sort of studying stuff, because I'm pretty passionate about that. I'm also pretty passionate about books, as you can tell in front of my bookshelf, so I might be making some videos on books too. I don't know if that will interest anybody, but it interests me. So yeah, anyways, thank you for watching this probably long video. Hopefully I can cut it down. Yeah, and have a great day.